Alrighty guys, I thought I'd start off this episode with something a little bit different, and some of the feedback that we get is that it's very disorientating when we're inside a mine. And seeing as we've had 3 absolutely epic days, well, total of 5 epic days exploring the hills up here, I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a lay of the land of where we've been and what you're going to see in this upcoming episode. So this is the lay of the valley. You've got to sort of park your car up here, and then it's a bit of a trek through the gorge down here, and the gorge sort of splits into 2 or 3 different directions. Now these big adits here, if you have a look at the little dodgy scale that we've put together here, they would have in total, obviously they go off the page here, but they would have gone into the eastern side of the mountain by almost half a kilometre. They would have driven in about 400 or 500 metres in total. And it's also unclear if they continued on. What we do look for is obviously the adits. We would always look for the mullock, the big mullock heaps that should be sitting just in front of these adits. But these 2 were very, very well sealed up. So just so you guys can sort of piece together where we were, the first mine entrance that we found was the lower main hall level situated right here. And we could only push into either around about this branch here or this branch here. We're not really sure, but you can see why we were trying to get into this big level. It would have driven under the creek and then down into the mountain along the big strikes where they collected all their gold off the footwall, off the faults inside here. Fast forward a little bit to the end of episode 1, and we found a little standalone mine, the Phoenix level 1, which was really cool. And for a sense of scale, you guys could probably see we're in that mine for around about half an hour, sort of shooting around every which way but loose. You can see the size of these levels here, absolutely monstrous. So in the second episode of the Valley of Lost Mines, we find these adits here. And you can see this is the little ore pass that we tried to climb. No need to do that, too dangerous, too many bats. We ended up finding the upper level up here anyway. And then this is the adit that we're going to find in today's episode. You can see that we probably only pushed into the main hall level to around about here, and unfortunately we encountered enormous collapse. The same could be said about this little drive that shoots off here to the southeast. Again, we only got to about there, and then there was some lagging that had failed. The main level we wanted to get into, and the reason we explored all of this mountain, was because of this. Now the difference in altitude between the lower main hall level and the middle level is around about 100 vertical meters. So we were trying to get into here. Now I'm still, after around about 30 hours of exploring this mountain, I'm still not convinced that we found it. I believe we may have found some incline shafts around about here that I'll put a couple of pictures up just here for you. But I do not believe that we found the middle level at it. Now if we did, we would be able to drop in, and assuming there was something to tie off or bolt into in here, we would have been able to shoot down this ore pass and come in behind the main workings and possibly get it all the way back up to the little pinch point here, and maybe even work our way back out. It wasn't that too badly collapsed. So, and now what I'm not showing you here, this is around about 1/3 of the level of the mines. Well, this one's here is about 1/4 level of the mines, which means the total accumulation of all of these tunnels put together, or all of these levels and drives put together, is probably well over 1 kilometre. And then over here we've got Blake Suss Cap. Now I just got to mention that now because he turned up to this pretty hardcore explorer with a hot pink cap, and I really just don't think it got enough airtime, so I thought I'd pop it in here. So hope that gives you a bit of an idea of what you're in for, guys. Unfortunately, like I said, we did encounter some major collapses. Now this was only a very short tour of the main mine of the upper level, but it was probably one of the most dangerous setups. But there's probably a couple of 100,000 tons of rock that was sitting in these stoped out drives, stoped out levels that were just lingering above our heads. Now, if they did collapse, they also would have pinched off the only route out. And there's also some other workings, which actually incorrectly pronounces alluvials. They're eluvials, and they're right up here in the mountain that you'll see at the start of our episode. So hope this map helps you piece together the lay of the land a little bit easier, because it can be very confusing as to what we're doing and where we're going. So sit back, enjoy today's episode. Hello again, guys, and welcome back to Queensland Abandoned Mines. If you're tuning in today, I believe this is about episode 23 or 24, If you like today's episode, share it with a buddy and make sure you hit that subscribe button. So today's a 3-day adventure. Day 1 was just Sam and myself looking for the enormous K2 and the Silver King mine. Day 2 saw us team up with Blake and John, and the 4 of us went looking for the enormous Queen of Sheba Mine, or the upper levels of the Queen of Sheba Mine. And then day 3, instead of heading home, because we were so far from home, we decided to play our hand at caving. Really long story short, we won't be airing that on the page because it has absolutely nothing to do with Queensland mining history, but that went terribly. We're only underground for less than an hour, and the line that we were rappelling on caused an enormous rockfall, and yeah, crushed a finger, ended up in ER, and probably won't be doing that again. So huge thanks to Sam, who took it upon himself to carry 100 metres of 11mm line up an enormous hill. So I think he actually had that like a crazy mule on his back for almost 6 or 7 hours. So we're very relieved that Sam took that duty. And also just to John and Blake, that I think collectively their round trip is almost 16 hours of travel time. And those two joined us with only a day's notice to get back up to the mountain. So thank you, lads. And if you're just joining in for the very first time today and you like today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You get a notification on your smartphone or tablet when we air another episode. Yeah, if it is your first episode, this is a page that's dedicated to Queensland mining history. Probably the most common question we get is how much gold have we pulled up out of the ground? The answer is absolutely 0. That is not what the channel is about. We actually did find some gold-bearing quartz on this trip. Looked a bit nasty, tied up in a lot of sulfides. We definitely did not film that portion of the day, and not what we're about anyway. We are just on the hunt for history, and that's what we love doing. And it also appears that we are certainly not cavers, even though the two hobbies look pretty similar. One we are definitely not good at. All the mines and mining history we focus on is that era from 1875 to 1900, and you're going to see a great example of that in today's episode. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and enjoy today's episode. G'day again, guys. Ebenezer and Sam with you again. Off on another epic adventure up into the hills. And today we are on the hunt for 2 mines. The Silver King mine and the K2 mine. I've just started filming here. Sam up there, because we are standing on an absolutely enormous waste rock pile. So we're definitely on the track to something. So I'll pick up with you guys when we're just at the top of the hill. Hope you've enjoyed the last couple of episodes. A bit of drone action. I think the episodes prior to that are probably 2 of my favourite episodes ever. That was when we found the big underground workings at the Phoenix Reef. That was really cool. And today's a 3-day adventure, guys. We got all day today, all day Sunday, and half day Monday to explore. Let's get over this hill and see what awaits us. Whew. Oh, we've made it to the top of the hill. It's looking promising. Got all this stacked rock here. I'm heading this way. Sorry guys, just trying to get my breath back a little bit. So yeah, 2 mines are on the hunt for today. Weird. Very interesting. So this looks like their old dump site, hey? This would be the old tip, guys. We're just done about that rock. I've never really seen rock that big. Definitely never seen rock that big in a waste rock pile. Weird. But check this out. That's definitely an old haulage line. So back in the day there probably would have been some sleepers or some tyres along here. There would have been a rail line, and that do, they have a stop at the end, and eventually they just keep extending the rail just as a spot to tip all the waste rock. Anything, mate? Weird, hey? What? Yeah, because they would have put the tunnel right in front of the... Yeah. Weird. Yeah, because that's where that line would have run straight into. There's more stacked up rock there. Still on the trail, guys. That rail line leads directly to that boulder, so that's a bit of a dead end. Hey, really pretty through here though. Yeah, that it should be to my left now. We'll be right there. That way. There's something over the back there. Alright, pretty hardcore trekking so far, guys. It's usually the way we start all of our days. It is a good 5 degrees cooler than last time we were up here though, which is absolutely epic. So far we've just found an enormous hillside quarry. So all the maps that we've got are from the years between 1875 and 1903. And that big blob on the hillside was never mapped. Now we know why. There's heaps of these alluvial pits up here that we're following. So I said today, guys, 2 big mines. The Silver King, that was worked pre-1900s. And the K2 abandoned gold mine. And if we can find the opening of that, as long as it's not gated or collapsed or bulldozed, that is meant to go into the hill about half a kilometre. That's why we're doing the big trek. More of these alluvial diggings. I'll pick it back up if you find something more interesting, guys. Sam's just giving us a yell. He's found something. What do you got? Oh, really? Open? Am I about to walk straight into it? Yep. Which way did you go, man? All right. I can see a bit of a shadow below my feet. Oh wow. Yeah, read my mind. Rock test. Decent. $30 feet?
Yeah, I don't think it's that deep.
Hey, interesting.
Yeah.
This is the K2, isn't it?
Yep.
Remember we found all that lantana the other week? That would be about 30 feet below us. So maybe this goes down that way, but then maybe it also drives that way. How do you reckon you go climbing that with those timbers? Just try and not disturb them? That's not a stick. That one's pretty well muddied in though.
I reckon you could probably pull those out.
That's got another big branch down below it, doesn't it? I'll come around for another look. Always got to be careful around uncollared shafts, guys. This may have been collared one day, which means the actual top of the collar would have been around about here. And that's normally, we've climbed dozens of shafts now. And normally once the collar gives way, all of that material around the back of the collar that all the timber was holding up, it all implodes. And the closest we got to some really big underground workings was about a 130-foot shaft at Coppermine Creek. And we checked our altimeter on our watch, we got little marks on our rope for depth. We only got to about 96 feet, so that means we're standing on about 80 years of overburden. But we'll definitely come back here tomorrow with our climbing gear and try and punch through that little hole just there. Cool, good find.
It goes down that way, doesn't it? So you're on an incline.
Yeah.
Unless it's a drive.
I think it's a drive, man. So we'll go off that tree there. Put some edge protection there, and then let's try and punch through that little hole just down there.
Yep.
Sick, dude. How deep?
Probably 10 metres. Yeah, it hits a wall about 4 or 5 metres in.
Interesting. We'll definitely get down there, hey? Oh, little pit. All right. Hopefully the wind's not too severe for you guys up here. Check that out for an epic view. I don't know if you guys are going to see on the GoPro, but just above my finger there's a huge spall heap on the other side of the hill. And possibly another one just down that way. And so far, guys, what we found is big quarries hanging off the side of the hill. It's what the old timers would have done, starting in 1875. They would have chased the gold up the valley, either where it stopped or where they found the best concentrations. They've come up. Oh, I actually don't want to stand on that. The other half of it's split in half. That's that big pile of stacked rocks just there. I'd say what they've done, they've trenched all the way down here, just surface diggings. It's taken us out, we finally got to the top of the hill. What a view. Alright, we've just come across this, guys. We've just got the old mill up the top. We're just walking down in the wash and we found this old, these are apparently old shipping containers. WB Bourne and Co Limited. Cool. That's a wrap for day one, guys. We're not walking way further than we were meant to. We'll go home, recoup, and get ready for day two, which is going to be an absolute ripper. Alrighty guys, just a quick pause of the video just while I share you a tiny bit of history here. So we always love finding these relics in the bush, and obviously if you are visiting any historic sites, please leave all of this stuff in situ. So what we've come across here today is an 1896 model that was manufactured by Byron Tank Works out of England, and quite interestingly, everything that we found over this side of the hill, which is the southeastern side of the hill, seems to have been of English or US origin. We found a couple of US engines in the previous episodes, and it's these clues that we love finding because they help us date a mine when we're surveying a mine site. And a lot of people ask us what sort of clues we pick up on to find the actual mines. I thought I'd share this photo with you. What can you guys see in this image? Probably not much. But what we see is a milled mine timber. So these look nothing like a rotting tree. These would be what the miners sought out to be extremely hard wood, hard timber, and what they would be a milled timber that would have been part of one of the caps or one of the sets, normally around the portal of a mine. And we see these wash down a hill, which means we are on the trail and there's normally a mine working above us. So the mines that we find would normally be about 2 or 3 feet deeper, and the mines that we discover these days is generally just what's left after years and years of erosions. In the case of today, about 130 years of erosion has occurred since these mines were closed. We just had our early dinner, and pretty much directly across the road from the servo, we noticed there was a little pinpoint on our historic mine maps, and we found an air shaft. Did you stand on that?
Yep.
I'm just going to take my car keys out of my pocket.
I don't know, man. I can hear it echoing. Jeez. It goes in about 15 feet and stops. So I don't think we're standing on a collapse. If this is the air shaft, they must have sunk it in an S shape to stop it from flooding. It kind of look, it goes back down that way as well though. Wow. Oh, we should do a bit of a disclaimer there. You should never do that. On our maps, one of the workings here went down 143 metres, so even if you're jumping at a depression that size, you really want to have a harness on and be clipped up to something. That's piqued my interest though. Let's see what's in this little valley.
Yeah, look how much dirt they dug it out of here.
It's a pretty nice spot on sunset, hey? Oh yeah, there's like a big wall up there. I just want to see what this little punch hole in the hill is. That's the mill. Hey dude, I can see a big dark shadow in the corner. No. Nah, it's nothing. I don't think it was adits here. It looks like it was just vertical because the ground's pretty flat. Very interesting. Is that the old foundations for the old mill?
Yeah, it looks like the old crusher foundation. Yeah, I might have another breed up there.
I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? Bit of late arvo bush bashing. Yeah. This is the old stamp mill, we reckon.
Must have been.
Hello everybody, welcome back to day 2. I'm completely trapped. Hey, is this even passable? Like, it's that thick, there's almost no daylight down here.
Just give me a second, I'll scout.
Let me get the camera steady for you. We're day 2 of a 3-day trip on the way to the Queen of Sheba Mine. No one's been up this hill for a long time. And we're going to have to spread out because there could literally be an adit just in front of us and we'll possibly never see it. Whew. Just thought I'd film this just to show you guys what we go through. And these bushes are prickly, slicing us to pieces. I'll see you guys in a sec. You right? Captain Blake's got 100 metres of rope, 11mm line. What a champion. The Queen of Sheba's got 2 levels and it's got a haul line down the bottom that's 100 metres lower in altitude. So we're crossing fingers that we get into one of the top levels and then we can abseil down to the bottom. All right. Sorry about so much shaky mobile phone footage today, guys, but it is pretty serious terrain and it takes forever. It's only a little one. This is not it, mate. Alright, we're up at the Sheba, number 1 level. Sam's putting in the hard yards. It's meant to punch that way though. Straight in. You alright?
Yep.
Shit, man.
Nothing.
Here comes Sam. We've just cut through that, shredded our arms to pieces. We've come to almost a vertical cliff line, which is where the 2 levels of the Queen of Sheba are meant to punch in. In total, just on a kilometre of tunnels between 3 levels. Let's hope we're rewarded for our efforts. Oh boy. You alright, mate? Yeah, I know, man. My arms are shredded. It's not even 9:30 in the morning yet. I don't know how you're carrying that rope bag, man. My pack's killing. Hey, just maybe cut to your left now, because I'm too high.
Oh, what's this? This might be it.
Holy shit, does it go down? Hey! I can't even move my head, it's so small in here. It goes under and she's collapsed. Whew. Alright, I think it goes down and under that rock there, down there. But, I'll pass you. Alright guys, check this out. We're following the same fault. Look how well defined it is through there. We're following the same fault down to try and find the top level of the Queen of Sheba. The same thing, the exact same set of miners or prospectors did in 1875. These big 3 levels of the Sheba gold mine yielded just over 100,000 ounces of gold. That's pretty good going. And how they got it off the hill was actually a series of chutes and tramways that ran all the way down here to the bottom of the valley. So cool. Respect to the old timers. Alright, let's see where this fault goes, guys. Alright. So we got the fault. And if you look at my watch, The corner of that purple part is where we plotted the top level of the Queen of Sheba. If you look at the dip of that fault, it's going to keep slicing down through the hill right under Sam's feet. I might have finally done a good map. Let's wait and see. Looks a bit dangerous. I'm going to put my camera away.
You got your radio on? Drives off?
No, I'll just yell. Yep, perfect. All right, can you just throw the rope over mine? Yeah, make sure I don't hit the barbed wire fence. Yep, just anywhere. Not there. Yep. Oh wow. Could be a drive off to my left. Shit, is that a snake or a stick? I think there's a snake down here.
Is it a stick?
Can you see that? It's got stripes on it though.
Oh yeah. It is. Oh, it's probably too cold to do anything.
Oh, I've got to drive. Yeah, cool. It's a stick.
Snake stick.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. I've got about another 7-8 feet, then it goes to water. There's definitely a drive down there though. Can you hear that echo? Yeah. I'll do another one. Yeah, there's a little cabin down there. Oh, I'm not going down there though, that's smaller than that hole I was down last time. Oh, it just faces almost straight away. Oh, I'm getting pissed on by moths. Oh shit. They bored the other way a little bit. Oh, it's a massive spider. Is that one going to jump out at me like the one before him? All right, so I'm going to pull the rope, protect the back, just as I edge up. That barbed wire's not my back, is it? Ah, my hand, John. Ah! He put...
Where you are now,
Yeah,
that's where I came down on the top of the hill.
yeah.
And then I walked to the left along the base of that cliff. Down.
All right.
And I'm sure there's an adit down there.
So we're just above it.
So it's not this cliff, it's a cliff below us.
All right, cool.
Hey, first,
Yeah, good call.
that was a big rock.
Hey,
That was a big rock.
that was a huge rock. All clear, mate.
Right in the base of that high cliff. Rock. Look out!
Shit. Hey, rock coming down, rock coming down. Oh, sorry I didn't give you any direction. From above. Are you alright? Right. Watch your step from down these guys. Oh, I can smell bats. Hey guys, I can smell that ammonia from bats. We're close. Where are you guys? Definitely bring the rope back. Oi! Ahoy! Shit, yeah! Hey dude, we found it. Where are you guys? We're at one of the main portals. Oh yeah, shit, yeah. It's collapsed so we can push past it. Check this out. This has got to be one of the most scenic portals we've ever seen. And we've already stuck our heads in. It would probably be the prettiest spot, and about 30 feet in, the most dangerous spot. So what are we doing, guys? Two in, two out?
3 in, 1 out. The shovel.
Yeah, as long as one's on the outside.
All right.
There's an old hinge on this of it. A hinge off the gate.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. This is where things get a bit extreme. It's all ready to go at any second. Now it's possibly even closer. Wow. All right, very careful through here, guys. We get a mine spider. Oh wow. So that's the footwall. All right.
Come through there quickly.
So we're standing in a stope. And he's coming through. Yeah, I'd come through quick, man. Definitely don't hang out in there.
How much further?
That stops because you're sitting in the footwall, and then the fault's massive, so all this is fault gouge, because then over here is the hanging wall. So the fault's like 12 feet wide. Yeah, that's the hanging wall, that's the footwall, that's all the gouge or the deposit.
Might be 2 parallel veins.
Oh, 2 veins, yeah. Did you stick your head up there?
Plastic bottle set on fire.
What's that? Oh, there's set a bottle on fire.
Yeah.
to get in here. Alright, you better just push back through that way.
You're coming back through?
Just a couple of feet, because there's our buddy the mine spider.
Just get on top of that, so.
You can.
So it's still the #1 level yet.
So if we're in Queen of Sheba number 2, either that's an ore pass, not a stope.
Oh, right.
There's probably, I don't know, 50 tonne of rock on top of those broken timbers. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'll just stand up and just push the camera in.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right. Let's get the hell out of this one, guys. No, definitely not. This big girl's got 3 at it. And the last 6 feet is overhang. Hey? Yeah, but then it goes into hard rock again. So that's a wrap, guys, from the last 2 days of adventuring, looking for the K2 mine, looking for the Silver King mine, and looking for that amazing big level of the Queen of Sheba. We're doing some exploring today, guys, but the only people that will see this footage is the property owners, because they want to see what's down here. You come on this land and you're going to get in big trouble. Thanks for tuning in, guys, the last couple of weeks. We'll see you guys on the next one. Hey, nice work, bruv. Look behind you.
Oh shit.
Well, guys, that wraps up today's episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I also do need to apologise for the amount of sneaky mobile phone footage. I think I forgot to mention it in the intro edit, but we actually had 2 GoPros that we use for filming topside. One's normally bolted to a helmet, and the other one we use for all of the stuff that we find topside. Both had SD card errors, which means we were just down to our big rig that we use for filming when we're underground. Now that thing's a bit of a chore to get out of our backpack with all of the lights and the microphones that attach to it. It's also a little bit dangerous to take our backpack off in some of the areas that we were, because the hills were so steep. So we'll make sure that issue is rectified before we air our next episode, which in all likelihood will not be Queensland. I've been hinting at this for the last couple of episodes. We are eyeing off some enormous workings which occurred in mid to northern regional New South Wales. So now that's not a trip we'll be able to drive to. They'll require flights and a lot of planning and maybe some hiring of some 4-wheel drives. So stay tuned for that one, guys. But for now, thanks for tuning in and joining us on today's episode.